In the heart of Africa, there was a small village called Jabu. It was a peaceful place, full of kind people and happy children. The village was surrounded by thick forests and tall mountains. But every night, something strange happened. At midnight, the villagers heard mysterious drums coming from the forest. The sound was both beautiful and eerie. No one knew who played the drums or why they played only at midnight. Kofi was a curious boy who lived in Jabu. He loved exploring and had a brave heart. One night, he decided to find out where the drums were coming from. His mother warned him not to go, saying the forest was dangerous at night. But Kofi couldn't resist. He waited until midnight, grabbed his lantern, and sneaked out of the house. The forest was dark and quiet except for the sound of the drums. Kofi followed the rhythm, feeling a mix of fear and excitement. The trees seemed to whisper secrets as he walked deeper into the forest. Suddenly, he saw a light in the distance. As he got closer, he realized it was a campfire, and around it were people dressed in beautiful, colorful clothes. They were playing drums and dancing. Kofi hid behind a tree and watched in awe. The drummers had a magical aura, and their music made him feel like he was in a dream. But then, he noticed something even more surprising. The people were not ordinary villagers, they had glowing eyes and moved with a grace that was almost supernatural. Kofi realized they were forest spirits. One of the spirits, a tall man with a kind face, looked directly at Kofi. "Come out, young one. We mean you no harm," he said. Kofi hesitated but then stepped out from behind the tree. The spirit smiled and welcomed him. They told him their names and explained that they played the drums to keep the balance between the human world and the spirit world. Kofi was fascinated. He spent the whole night listening to their stories and learning about their world. As dawn approached, the spirits told Kofi he must return to his village and keep their secret. "We will see you again, brave Kofi," the tall man said. Kofi returned to Jabu, feeling both happy and confused. He wanted to tell everyone about the spirits, but he knew he had to keep his promise. The days passed, and Kofi couldn't stop thinking about the midnight drums and the spirits. One night, he decided to visit them again. This time, when Kofi reached the campfire, the spirits were waiting for him. They seemed worried. "The balance between our worlds is in danger," the tall man said. "A dark force is trying to break the connection between us." Kofi felt a chill run down his spine. "What can I do to help?" he asked. The spirits explained that the dark force was coming from the heart of the forest, where no human had ever been. Kofi knew it was dangerous, but he also knew he couldn't let his village be in danger. "I will go," he said bravely. The spirits gave Kofi a small drum and told him it had the power to protect him. "Use it wisely," they said. Kofi nodded and set off towards the heart of the forest. As he walked, the forest grew darker and more menacing. Strange noises filled the air, and shadows seemed to move on their own. Kofi's heart pounded, but he kept going. Suddenly, he heard a loud roar. A huge creature, covered in darkness, appeared before him. It had glowing red eyes and sharp claws. Kofi knew this was the dark force the spirits had warned him about. The creature lunged at Kofi, but he quickly played the drum. A bright light surrounded him, and the creature stopped, confused. Kofi continued playing, and the light grew stronger. The creature roared in pain and then vanished into thin air. Kofi sighed in relief, but he knew the danger wasn't over. He had to find the source of the darkness. He walked further into the forest, guided by the drum's magic. Finally, he reached a clearing where a huge, ancient tree stood. The tree was covered in dark vines that pulsed with an evil energy. Kofi understood that he had to cleanse the tree to restore the balance. He played the drum with all his might, focusing on the light and the good in his heart. The vines began to wither, and the darkness faded away. The tree glowed with a pure light, and the forest felt alive and peaceful once more. Exhausted but happy, Kofi made his way back to the spirits' campfire. They welcomed him with open arms and thanked him for his bravery. "You have saved both our worlds, Kofi," the tall man said. Kofi returned to Jabu, but he was a changed boy. He had seen and done things no one else in the village had. He kept the spirits secret, but he knew he could always visit them if needed. The midnight drums still played, but now, they were a symbol of the bond between Kofi and the spirits, a bond that would keep their world safe for years to come.